Hello everybody, I am Keaton. This is Kid Catholic Season 6, Episode 22. How's everyone's week been? For me, school started yesterday, so, that kind of stinks. Summer's over. It went by so fast. Anyway, before we get into today's video, please subscribe. Please share this channel and video with your friends and family. Make sure that they know about Kid Catholic. And so for today's topic, I wanted to talk about being open, being excited, being expressive about our faith in today's modern world, right? Because Jesus tells us that we shouldn't be shy about our faith. We should go out, we should be proud of it, we should put it everywhere, right? We should if anybody knows us, they should know that we are Catholic, right? And sadly, that's not really the way the world is today, because we can get condemned so often in the outside world, whether that be little everyday things at work, at school, right, on the internet, right. In every way we can get hate for being Catholic, right, in a lot of ways. And so that can sort of make us shy, make us timid to really talk about it, right? But that absolutely should not be the case. So I wanted to look at some ways how we can get over that, and what we can do to be, in a way, proud of our faith. So let's get into it. Sometimes we can feel like we can't talk about it because in today's modern world, we will get severely scrutinized for it, right? And that isn't right. So I wanted to take a look at some Bible verses. I have the Great Adventure Bible right here. I want to take a look at some Bible verses that talk at first about faith, but also about preaching and being proud of our faith. So right here in John 3:18, it says, "He who believes in him is not condemned. He who does not believe is condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God." Now this is very interesting, because this is sort of a flip of what we experience in today's modern world. It says, whoever does believe is not condemned, but whoever does not believe is condemned. And it's flipped in today's modern world, right? It's whoever does not believe is not condemned, and whoever believes is condemned out there on the internet, at school, at work, places like that. But God is telling us here, Jesus, he's telling us right here that that's not the case. It might seem like that's the case because of other people around us, because of the world around us, but Jesus actually says the opposite from what we think. And so that's why I love this verse so much. It's really interesting. Like, no, you guys, you've got it all wrong, right? We have it all wrong. We'll be condemned if we come out and say something by other people, right? But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we're condemned by them. That shouldn't affect us. What really matters is, are we condemned by God? And God here says, he who believes in him is not condemned. He says it very clearly. And so it sort of makes us take a step back and think, wait a minute, we have it all wrong, right? So what if other people will condemn us for being Catholic? Oh well, that's their problem, right? We can pray for them. We can hope that they will change their ways. But God doesn't. And God is the only one, when it comes to condemning people, is the only one that matters, right? His opinion is the only one that matters, right? He's the only one allowed to judge anybody. So if anybody else comes and judges us for our beliefs, then that's their problem, and we need to pray for them, but that shouldn't affect us. And that's what that verse is telling us right here. There's another verse that emphasizes faith specifically. It is John 11:40. I have the Bible right here. It says, Jesus said to her, "Did I not tell you that if you would believe, you would see the glory of God?" Now, this is important for me. I took this as important because this is a time when people are doubting, right? When Martha, right here, is doubting, right? Is saying, like, look at this world around us. It is starting to lose faith, right? And Jesus says, "Did I not tell you that if you would believe, you would see the glory of God?" Look at that in our own lives. Can we sometimes be like Martha? Can we sometimes begin to doubt, be like, well, I can't say anything, I can't be open about my faith because then I'll get condemned by everybody else? Jesus is saying here that if you would believe, you would see the glory of God. So what does it matter, right? What does it matter what other people think about your Catholicism? Jesus tells us, if you believe. So we should not be afraid, we should not be timid to come out and say that we believe. Openly profess the fact that we believe in Jesus Christ. Jesus says that'll allow us to see the glory of God. And this last one I think especially relates to today's topic. It is Romans 10:9. It says, "Because if you confess with your lips that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved." This is very important to what I'm talking about today. It says, believe in your heart, of course, that God raised Jesus from the dead. Believe in your heart that. But also profess with your lips. Not only does it doesn't just say, hey, you should probably profess with your lips. You might want to profess with your lips that you believe in God. No. What it tells us right here is profess with your lips that you believe in God or you will not be saved. Simple as that. Right? It says it very clearly, very plainly here in Romans, right? Profess with your lips. It is so clear to us. And sometimes it can be really hard, right, to do so. We know that in the Bible. We know that we read that people have a hard time doing so, professing with their lips, because in their world then, Christians were being persecuted. In our world now, in the U.S. specifically, it's not physical persecution, but it's still other kinds of persecution. In other parts of the world, it is, in fact, physical persecution. And so it can be hard. And one of the things that I like to say is nobody said being Catholic was going to be easy, right? It's not. It's not easy. And so, yes, it can be hard, but Jesus, he tells us simply right here. The Bible tells us simply right here. If you don't profess with your lips, then you won't be saved, right? And that is a very plain and clear verse to us. And that was just 3 verses, right? That was just 3 verses of the Bible specifically relating to this topic. There's a lot more, right? Doing research for this video, I went through a ton. I was like, I could use that one, I could use that one, I could use that one. I just picked out 3, right? Because it's only one video. There's a ton more verses like that tell us to profess. Now, this doesn't mean that we should be pushy or rude about our faith. It doesn't mean that we should that should be all we talk about, right? In front of friends who aren't Catholic, we should just sit there and tell them to become Catholic and tell them that if you're not Catholic, you're wrong. Absolutely not. That's not what this means, right? It does mean to be open about your faith, right? To tell people you are faithful. There's actually this one saying that I heard, and it said, I'm paraphrasing here, but it said, live in a way so that people who know you know Jesus because they know you. Come to know God because they know you, right? Live that way. If anybody knows you, they should know that you love Jesus, right? Whatever that might be. When I say be open about it, that's what I mean. That other people around you, they are very aware of your Catholicism, right? This doesn't mean be pushy or rude about your faith, no. But it does mean to be open about it. To be excited about it, to profess your faith, to be happy, and to be glad that you love Jesus, right? And to let others know that, right? And not a pushy or rude way. And the people on the internet, the people at school, the people at work who might judge us, right? Who might think that we're weird for being Catholic, who might think that we are absolutely crazy, we can pray for them, right? That's what we're supposed to do. I've said this in my past videos. We have 2 ultimate goals. 1, to get ourselves to heaven. 2, to get everybody else to heaven. Right? Simple as that. If we work to get everybody else to heaven, if everybody on earth loved Jesus, then this stuff wouldn't be happening. We could easily come out and profess our faith, right? And so we need to strive towards that. Now, this doesn't mean by debating Catholicism on the internet constantly with everybody, right? This doesn't mean by making sure that all of your friends are Catholic or you can't be friends with them. No, what this means is what the saying I said earlier says. Make it to where those who know you come to know God because they know you. Come to know God. Come to have a relationship with God because they know you and they know that you have a relationship with God and you are a perfect, happy person. Set an example, right? We need to set an example. We need to let others know that we love Jesus, that Jesus is our best friend, that we're Catholic, and we need to set that Catholic example, right? Just like the Bible tells us, profess with your lips or you will not be saved. And so, like I said, yes, it's going to be hard. And here's the deal. If we have friends or classmates or people who we work with, even if they're not friends, people who we know, and they don't want to talk to us, or that they think that we're weird because we are Catholic and we love Jesus, then maybe they're not worth the friendship at this point in their lives, right? They all should be. Eventually, all 8 billion people should be worth being our best friend, right? Because they all love Jesus. But sadly, that's not the case right now. And so we can pray for that person, right? We need to pray for everybody. In fact, we need to pray for everybody to get to a point to where we can change the world. We can change the world to where what Jesus says in the Bible about God, but one of the verses that I read, right? He said, if you believe, you will not be condemned. If you do not believe, you will be condemned, right? We should make the world like that, obviously. Not exactly, because we humans, we can't condemn or judge anyone personally, right? We can judge their actions. I made a video on this a little bit ago. But still, we should make it to where we can come out about our faith, and we can be open about our faith, and everybody should be praising us. Not maybe praising isn't the right word, but everybody should be being happy for us and be accepting us and loving us for loving Jesus, and everyone else should be too. Let's make the world that way. If every single Catholic in the world right now went out and converted one person, even just one, then the entire Catholic population would double. One person in their lifetime even. And we shouldn't stop there, right? It's sad that the world that we live in is the way it is today, where we might get condemned for being open about our faith, whether that be on the internet, work, or school, like I've said. But that shouldn't be the way the world is. So we can work to change it. I mean, the 12 apostles were asked to go out and share Catholicism, and now look at all the Catholics in the world. So obviously they did a great job. We can continue that, right? Let's change the world, and let's not make it the way it is today, where we can be attacked for being open about our faith. But let's be open about our faith. Let's be glad about our faith. And let's all go out and profoundly profess with our lips that we believe in Jesus Christ, so that we might be saved, just like the Word of God tells us. Easy as that. So now that the topic is done, do you all know what it's time for now? It's time for
the Saint of the Week.
Now today's Saint of the Week is Saint Cecilia, and Saint Cecilia has an absolutely just awesome story. And for her story, she had an arranged marriage, and when she married, before she married, she told the man who she was marrying that she had taken a vow of virginity, and I'm not going to get too much into it because, yeah, but anyway, she said she had an angel protecting it, and then he was like, okay, let me see the angel. And then she said, if you go down, like, I think it was like 3 towns away or something like that, and go be baptized and come back, then you can see the angel. And he did so, and he saw the angel, and he became a Christian then. Another cool thing about Saint Cecilia is that she actually wasn't ever like specifically canonized because she was so early on, but she was proclaimed as saint by the early Christians. So yeah, anyway, her story continued, and she was later, it was in a time of Christian persecution, okay? And so Saint Cecilia was there, and she was very open about her faith, so open that people knew about it, and so she actually went to be burned alive. And like she was in this oven type thing with like a ton of fire and stuff. Get this, she never even sweated, never even a drop of sweat. She was completely unfazed by the whole thing. The guards heard this, they were like, okay, we need to go try again. They tried to behead her 3 times, they struck her 3 times and couldn't, so they just gave up. And so she lived in the cell for 3 more days until she eventually died, and then in the 3 days she was preaching even then. So imagine being that brave, being so brave that you've already survived martyrdom once, and then you continue to preach, and then you survive it again, and then you continue to preach. It just keeps going on. Later in the 16th century, they dug up her body and saw that it was incorrupt. and they also noticed that her body smelled like flowers. So that's just awesome. Anyway, of course she's a perfect saint for today's topic. She was so open about her faith. If we think that it's hard for us now to be open about our faith just because some people might make fun of us, which can be hard, but compared to what Saint Cecilia went through, with them literally trying to murder her twice and still surviving. When we put it in perspective with that, like, it can actually make it seem a lot easier, even though it's still going to be hard. It can make it seem a lot easier to be open about our faith, especially when God said in the Bible, profess with your lips, in order to be saved. And so anytime we might feel like we're having a hard time professing with our lips, we're having a hard time being open about our faith, then we can look to Saint Cecilia, because Saint Cecilia was great in doing so. She absolutely did not fail at all whatsoever in doing so. And so Saint Cecilia, we can pray through her, because we don't pray to the saints. We can pray through her for help with that and make it become easier for us to be open about our faith. So thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video. Please click the red subscribe button down below and the bell next to it. That way you get notified when I come out with a new video. Before you click off this video, please go check out my website, kidcatholic.com. There's a ton of things you can do on there. All my videos are up there. There's a photo gallery. You can read about me. You can contact me. You can do all sorts of things on there. You can buy your very own Kid Catholic t-shirt. So please go check that out. Comment any saint or topic suggestions down below. Comment any times it might have been hard for you to be open about your faith in certain situations. And if you're watching this right now and you're having a hard time being open about your faith, go and read some of the comments and see some of other people's personal stories. Also, please check out my social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The link to all three of those will be in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching. This was Kid Catholic Season 6, Episode 22. I will see you all next week, and hi, Brielle!